Carmelo Anthony has two very strong bases for appeal in the conviction yesterday, where he was sentenced to 35 years for murder, for first degree murder. These are just the two right off the top of my head that come out. Now, a number of other bases for appeal would certainly need to be filed, but I think the first two are crucial. And I say the first one, a lot of the evidentiary rulings, if not all of them, are suspect as a result of this, all that went against the defense. And the first one is the fact that the prosecutor and the judge were friends with the father of the victim. That is documented. It was on the father's Facebook page, pictures of them all together at a social gathering, drinking together. That is a highly problematic event, series of events. I don't know how many times they were, but it is a major, major problem because it casts a pall over all evidentiary rulings. And when you're in an appellate case, you're trying the appellate judge or the trial judge. And the trial judge made an atrocious error by even being the judge in this case and letting the prosecutor try this case. There are all kinds of problems with it. It casts everything is in doubt as a result of that, down to the rulings, the jury instructions. Cases have been, many cases, as they should be, have been overturned on the basis of incorrect jury instructions or jury instructions that were not given. There are just myriad problems that exist with that. And the second major issue for appeal is the fact that the prosecutor systematically excluded all black jurors. There were no black jurors. That is a major problem. It is blatantly unconstitutional. It shows a systematic and systemic racial bias of the prosecutor, and the judge didn't do anything about it, which goes back to the first problem, that he was a biased judge, was a bump on a log, was a dumb fuck judge, and screwed the whole goddamn thing up. Shouldn't even be on the bench, is a substandard judge. There are all kinds of problems with it. He should be taken off he shouldn't be on the bench. Corrupt judge. That's what I'd be arguing. Lots of support for that. So I think there's going to be a new trial at some point, and I think the trial should be somewhere like Houston or Dallas or somewhere where there's a fairer jury and where there's a judge who's not biased and a prosecutor that's not some yokel who doesn't give a shit about justice and only wants to get a conviction, and a jury that doesn't deliberate for about an hour on a murder case. It's just disgusting.
So did you hear that? You heard that, right? Or what he said. But yeah, I was willing to talk about this yesterday, but I didn't get the time on stream. But I'm going to talk about it now. About this Carmelo Anthony situation. Yep, he stabbed that Caucasian boy Austin, to death. I would say that, that's crazy in itself. He ain't really had to do that. Just, put up a fight. Like I said, I'm hearing multiple stories about this. But I take it as, okay, he got that. But as y'all heard what the clip was saying, it was, it was an unfair trial. There was a lot of protocols being broken. And there's a lot of trials that's been broken, like that before, that goes unreported. Or it's not really talked about, or it doesn't have media news coverage. But this particular one, the Carmelo Anthony, does. But, here's the thing. And black people take heed of this. Because I've been saying this in multiple videos before, try to show y'all the harsh truth about things and what y'all need to know and what y'all need to understand and put things in perspective. Even though that doesn't really get any views, and probably this video won't either. But I'm going to speak what I feel, because this bothers me. You really have to be 100 steps ahead for these racists. You really do. I can't stress that enough. I can't. With this whole situation with Carmelo Anthony, that boy that got shot, outside of a Asian local convenience store by the Asian dude. And yes, y'all should boycott some Asian businesses, especially the Chinese. You know, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. These Chinese people, I'll say mostly American. What? Yeah, native Chinese people too. That's from China. That they are S tier when it comes down to kissing the Caucasian man's ass. Like, I've seen it in real time, and I've seen it of jobs I used to work at. They're the biggest ass kissers to Caucasian supremacy. They're like S tier. Second place, I would say Indians. But anyway, you really have to understand that, you know, I would say approximately 68% of the people that don't look like you are not your friends. And they believe that the white man's ice is colder. And there are some people that's in our community that are turncoat and coons as well, believe that as well. Because you got Carmel and Anthony's parents thinking, oh, we gonna get, you know, all these, you know, Caucasian lawyers and thinking they're safe. No. That some of these lawyers be playing dirty, man. I keep trying to tell y'all that, man. And other social media platforms, especially on my Twitter. A lot of these lawyers get paid under the table. And stuff be rigged, just like this Carmelo Anthony situation. They was looking for something to put him in jail. Oh, he stabbed that. Oh, he stabbed him. Oh yeah. They don't care if they don't follow protocols. They want to put you in jail, or better yet, you get deleted. And that's what's been going on out here. Like, listen, black community, we need to tighten up. You gotta tighten up, man. They don't see you as equal. They see you as lower than. But you got all these ethnicities come from us. We're the original people, and they've been indoctrinated by these Caucasians that are, you know, they are racist, that are bigot, to think like them, even though they're using them as tools. The Asians, the Hispanics, all the above, and even some black folks. That's why I talk my shit on this channel about certain, you know, black people that be making wrong decisions and probably wouldn't, you know, support their own because they have self-hating issues. Now, you gotta understand something, man. When enough is gonna be enough. This whole turn the other cheek, we gotta stop that, because they sure ain't turning the other cheek with, you know, with us. We are in a pincer attack where they're trying to get us at all angles. I keep telling y'all this, but when I talk about this and I make videos like this that y'all need to, you know, look at, it don't pop. And I'm pretty sure this video probably won't pop, because, you know, YouTube algorithm be tripping on me. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is, and they keep messing with black content creators. But I digress. You have to take a stand. You have to fight back. You have to fight back, even though that the system, the court systems, is in their favor. Yeah, you're gonna have to do it some way. You know, have them lose money or gain some evidence of their wrongdoings, so they can get up out of here. Whatever establishment they come from, whatever system that can protect them, some way, somehow. There's a will. There's always a will, and there's always a way. You know, you have to think about some of these, you know, Caucasian people that be making these laws. Most of these laws are meant to be broken, because someday they're gonna break them. But you can't break them though. But they can. So back to the Carmelo Anthony situation. Like, let's say that was in reverse. This Austin boy stabbed him, and now he's deleted. Do you think they would have charged him the same amount of years? No, absolutely not. And these racist Caucasian people know that. They know that. You know, there's gonna be some times where I'm gonna bring up some uncomfortable conversations here on this channel, yo. I don't make videos for me to be liked. I'm trying to spread awareness of what's really going on out here. You know, and I've been doing so of that. You know, I do the best I can to, you know, talk about certain topics on here and get my point across. Because, you know, I tell the harsh truth sometimes. And I show y'all videos and clips on that and spread awareness so we can have some serious conversations. This is unacceptable, y'all. It really is. Like, this bothered me, you know? Especially that kid that died from that Asian man outside of his convenience store. Like, when is it gonna stop? When you gonna stop, like, with this mindset being the better person and turning the other cheek? When you gonna stop? Because they're not gonna stop. Homelander's ultimate goal, and me and my friend talked about this in a video before, and y'all need to look at it, because I made a playlist of me talking like this on my channel. His ultimate goal is to stick it to the black community. Mass deletion. He want to see that before he dies. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Drop it in the comments down below. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I do a variety of videos here. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.